ever thought about downsizing but don't want to sacrifice the space you already have on board? Well, the new Jeanneau Mary Fisher 1095 could be the answer to those problems. At 10.5 metres long and a nice wide beam, there is plenty of room on board, and it's the perfect size for a family or a couple to manage on their own. When you're standing at the bow, you can really appreciate just how much room there is on board this 1095. The beam starts nice and early, which gives it that nice spacious feel all the way throughout. I'd definitely opt for the optional sun lounge at the front here to make full use of this area. And I do like the nice high handrail and wide walkway that gives you access all the way down the side of the boat, keeping your kids and yourself safe from toppling over. When I say that this is a great day boat, this is the area that I'm referring to. It's a fantastic place to sit back and take in the scenery. We're running the lounge around the outside at the moment. You can drop the infills in and turn this entire area into a sun pad, and you have several options of where to place the table, giving you a lot of versatility with your seating arrangement. Located just inside the large rear sliding door to the cabin is the galley, and it's on the starboard side of the boat, set against this large window which gives you plenty of light when you're preparing food. It's also directly opposite the dining area, which gives you nice easy access to that if you are serving people a meal, and you are also within talking distance of the people in the cockpit. There is plenty of storage below this bench top. You've also got a microwave, a fridge, a 2-burner stove and a sink, and obviously an infill gives you all of the bench space you should need when you're preparing a meal. The owners of this boat have elected for a 3-berth layout. The main berth is located at the bow and has beautiful port windows allowing light to stream in. There's also ample storage there. The second berth runs up underneath the dining area. It has a closing door as opposed to a curtain, which gives you a nice bit of privacy, and there is plenty of room there as well. The third berth runs up and underneath the helm position. There's enough room in there for a single bed. There's not a huge amount of headroom, but there is a nice port light allowing light into that particular space. You could convert this into a storage area if you don't want that third berth, but it's definitely one I would take myself. The owners have elected to put an optional second fridge in this berth, but there is still plenty of room for all your other equipment. Jeanneau are a production boat builder based in France, and this boat, the Mary Fisher, is one of their very versatile packages. It's suitable for cruising, entertaining, overnighting, or you could even throw a line in off the back. Even though this is a high-sided and quite large, imposing boat on the water, it is very easy to drive. I've got electro-hydraulic steering here, and the throttles are nicely within reach. We've got twin 300 Mercuries on the back. That is an option. It comes standard with twin 250s, which, judging by the performance so far, would still be more than enough to keep most people happy. In front of me there's a full layout on the dash. We're running a Garmin head unit here. I've got the engine controls, they're the analog style, and I've also got an autopilot on the top left and trim tabs. I haven't had to touch those yet, but they will do a great job in evening out the load when you've got a few people on board. On the dashboard there is also an optional bow thruster control. That makes it easy to berth no matter where you are, giving you full control of the vessel at all times. The driving position is set high in the Mary Fisher 1095, and that gives me a full view of the bow. So if I'm pulling up to a wharf or even a mooring, I can see exactly where I am. Out on the starboard side here, there's a nice sliding door. That gives me quick access to tie up at a wharf. And you'll notice that the cabin is pushed to the port side, so there's a nice wide walkway out here as well. The one on the port side is slightly thinner. Now they do that to increase the space within the cabin itself. Now by offsetting it, they can create more room internally, and they've done that exceptionally well. The hull has a nice sharp entry, but it flattens out quite quickly, meaning it's going to be stable for families. That reduces the risk of getting thrown around when you're at rest or staying overnight. This boat will lend itself perfectly to cruising around places like Sydney Harbour, Lake Macquarie, the Gippsland Lakes in Victoria, or even further north up towards Queensland. In fact, the owner of this vessel is taking it straight up to Cairns after we've finished with this review. Even though this is a relatively large boat, the outboard engines do get along at a fair speed. At the moment we're doing 23 knots and I feel really comfortable behind the wheel. There's a nice familiar feel to it, given that I drive a fair few trailer boats, and the outboard power does make me feel right at home. The Jeanneau Merry Fisher range starts at a 695 all the way up to this, the largest boat, a 1095. And out of all the Merry Fishers I've tested, I think this could be my favourite, purely because of the space on board and the ease of use. And where else could you buy a 3-bedroom home with waterfront views for a third of the price than a standard Sydney house?